Hello friends, today in this tutorial I will be telling you that how to use WebAssembly inside your React.js application, and basically we will be using the concept of FFMPEG library, which is the open source audio and video processing library, and we will be building a very simple audio recorder kind of a application which will record audio from your microphone. So basically this application is built purely in React. We are not using any sort of third-party library. So basically, you can see this is a demo of the application. Simply, there is a record button, and in background, we are using WebAssembly FFmpeg inside React. So if I click the record button, it will ask for the permissions. I have already granted the microphone permissions. You will see this page is accessing your microphone. So simply now I'm just speaking right now. You will just see here. If I click the stop button, my voice will be recorded. And now you can see for 17 seconds, my voice has been recorded. If I play this recording, your voice will be played here. Let me just turn off the volume of the desktop audio so that you can hear it. Let me play it. So if I click the record button, it will ask for the permissions. I have already granted the microphone permissions. You will see. So you can see that guys, it has recorded that audio and now it is playing that. So it is that simple to make a very simple audio recorder. So basically this recording will be saved, and anytime you hit the record button for the second time, this will again record your audio, and this will store this audio in a separate file, and this will take a list form. If I click again stop, you will see that. Again click record, again stop, again record, you can see that. So basically you can record multiple recordings of yours in different files, and now basically you can download this as well inside your computer. So it's simple, click on download button and your audio will be recorded as a mp3 file. You will see this. You can anytime click the download, or you can also change the playback speed as well. So if I open this
So
mp3
if I
file,
click the record
you can
button
see
on your
that
phone, my voice will be.
so you can open the recorded audio inside your mp3 player. So just click the download button right here. So we will be building this application from scratch guys. So let's start building this application. I have given all the source code in the video description. So this is a blog post I have written, React.js FFmpeg WebAssembly project. So the link will be there inside video description. So if you want to get all the source code, you can just download all the source code by going to the video description link to build this awesome little audio recorder, which will record your audio through microphone using WebAssembly in FFmpeg. So let's start building this application from scratch guys. So let me delete all this code and start from scratch. So just create the basic React.js project, nothing fancy. So the command is pretty simple. You just need to go to the command line and just write npx create react app, and then you need to put the project name audio recorder. So just execute this command and this will create the newly created React.js project. And after that guys, you need to install this dependency, which is wrap which is controlling this application, which is called as voice message. It's a React.js library. So if you just go to npmjs.com and search for this library vmsg, this is a library. You can see library for creating voice messages. So simply the first library comes in, just click it, and now you will see it has got 8509 weekly downloads. Simply install this library by executing this command, which is simple npm I vmsg. And there is also a demo given for this library. So if you want to see, so basically if you write any sort of your comment, click on record, it will ask for microphone. So hello, you can see that. So you can see that. You can also send it right here and play it. If you play it, so basically this is the hello, you can see that. It record the voice messages. This library is mainly built for this purpose, so that's why I'm using this library. It's an awesome little library. 8000 weekly downloads are there. So the command is pretty simple. Just go to command line, just type npm I vmsg, just install this. I have already installed this library, so you don't need to install it once again. So right here guys, in order to build this application inside your app.js file, we just need to write code inside this file. So first of all, we will import the React library, which is coming from the React library. And then we need to import this library, which is vmsg, voice message, from voice message, like this. So import this library. And after this guys, what we need to do is that we need to create a recorder. We need to initialize a new recorder like this, recorder, like this. And this takes some arguments guys, which is very much easy. WASM URL. So this stands for WebAssembly URL. So here you need to provide the full address of the WebAssembly FFMPEG library, which is hosted on the CDN. This is a CDN, so you can go to the video description link. I have written all the source code. This is a CDN which is hosted on unpackage.com. So we are providing the address. That's it. And now we will write the function class level component, which is class app contains extends react.component. So here we will simply make a render method, and inside this we will return simple we will make use of React fragments, which is very much useful. React fragment, we will use it. And if you just put anything here, hello world. So if you now start your React.js application, if you see npm start, you will see this. It will start this React.js application at localhost 3000. So just wait, it is starting this. So it is saying app doesn't contain an export. So we need to export this component. So we need to say export default app. So just write this line and this error will gone. You will see hello world is printed out. So instead of hello world, we want a simple record button which will record the audio from the microphone. So inside this, we will have a simple button. So this button will be saying, so basically for having this, we need to declare some state variables. So we need to have some state for our React.js application, the data. So the state will be an object and it will contain three variables. First will be is loading, and this value will be false when the application load for the very first time. Is recording will be again false, and the set of recordings which will be saved, it will be a simply a array. So we are not saving to a actual database, so we are just storing it inside our local memory. So we are storing it inside and this array, which will be empty by default. So now guys, we need to have this inside our render method. We need to get the state variables, which is loading. We will use of curly brackets, is loading, is recording, and recordings. This is you can see that we will make use of we'll get it from this dot state. If you see this dot state, this dot state, so we will get all these variables from the state, and now basically we will compare it. Basically we will say that the disabled attribute of the button will be equal to is loading. Basically it is saying that if the value of this is true, then the button will be disabled. If the value is false, then the button will not be disabled. So now basically guys, inside this, here we need to put a on click as well. So when we click this button, what happens? So on click listener. So here we will attach a condition here, which will be this dot record. So basically this will be the function name. We are attaching it by this dot record. So now we need to create this function guys, which will actually record the audio for us when we click this button. So right here at the very top, if you see, whenever we just declare our state, so we need to declare this function which will be actually record. So record, and this will be a async function, guys, async function. So this arrow function syntax. So first of all, inside this function, guys, we will manipulate the state and we will change the value of is loading to true. So whenever we click this record button, the button will be disabled because this value will become true. You can see we are manipulating this value here. So this button will be disabled. And also for the label of the button, guys, we also need to check for the condition. So if you see for this label of this button, we will again check if the value of is recording, if is recording is true, then this value will be stop. And if the value is false, then obviously we know that the button is not clicked, so the value will be record. So we are putting dynamic conditions here, guys. I hope that you understand. So basically in this condition we are just checking that if this is a boolean variable, so if the value is true, then this label will change to stop, and if the button is not pressed, then this value will stay at as record. So now basically if I load this application, what you will see is that, so it is saying that record is not defined. So it is saying, let me see, uh, on click this dot record, this dot record, this dot record. Let me see, guys, why it is saying that. Put a semicolon here. Oh, sorry. Hey, this function needs to be declared outside here. So this is a render method, so that's why you can't declare here. So here outside you need to declare here. This is will be a async function, and here basically we will say that we will manipulate the value of is loading to true, is loading to true. That's it. So now, guys, if you see here, if I load this application now, you will see the button will be record. If I click the record button, the button will be disabled because I have changed this. If I made this value as true, so that's why that button is disabled here. You will see that. So now the second step is that we need to grant permission to use our microphone. So basically here we will check that if the state variable of is recording is true, in that case we are recording the uh, audio. So in that case we use the await keyword, and basically we will say that recorder dot stop recording. We will execute this method. So recorder is, you can see that recorder. So this is the WebAssembly FFMPEG library which is initialized inside this variable. So this contains a method which actually stops the recording. So we are calling this method to actually stop the recording whenever you click this button, whenever the recording is being done. So after the button is clicked, now we need to manipulate the state, guys. So again we will use this dot set state, and inside this what we will do is that first of all we will make is loading to false. So now the button will not be disabled, and also we will say is recording to also false. So this will make sure that the button text changes to record again, and also the recordings will be saved inside this array which will be this dot state dot recordings dot concat. We will use the concat method. This is specifically for arrays. So in order to store it, we will use the url dot create object url method, and here we will pass the blob object which is actually recorded from the microphone. So basically this will be an actual url which is recorded, and we are storing it inside our array. That's it. So this is a if condition here, guys. You will see that basically we are assuming that this recording method, recording variable is true. So this means that recording is being done by the user. So in the else scenario, we need to write the code. If the recording is not done, in that case, if the button is pressed, we need to start the recording. So in that case, we need to start the recording. So here we need to write this code inside try catch block. So first of all, we will say recorder dot initiate audio. This is a method by which we start the audio recording. And also the second step will be to initiate the worker, like this. And then we need to call the start recording method of this WebAssembly FFMPG library. So these three steps are very much necessary, guys. First of all, to initialize the audio, initialize the worker, and thirdly, we need to start the recording. And lastly, guys, we also need to initiate the manipulate the state by using this dot state. And here we will say this dot is not loading to false and is recording to true. So here we just need to just do the opposite of which we have done inside this. So is loading was false here, is loading is again false, is recording to false. Here we are saying is recording to true because we are actually recording the audio. That's all, guys, we need to do. And also in try catch also has a catch block also for catching the error. So if any sort of error take place, we can console in the error department and just show the error to the user. This dot set state, once again we will call the is loading to false, like this. That's all, guys, I need to see. And basically, if you see here, if I refresh the application, click the record button, you will see that it changes to stop. And now basically you will see this is using my microphone. And you can see this page is accessing your microphone. So if I click the stop button, it doesn't display the recording because we haven't manipulated that front up till now. So here we need to display our recordings inside the unordered list, which is UL tag. So inside this, guys, we will give it a style attribute to it of list style to none. And here also we will remove the padding to 0. And inside this, guys, we will say that recordings is an array, so we will use the map method. And inside this, we will pass the URL. And here we will simply display the actual recordings. So li tag. So here we need to give it a key attribute. So for if you're displaying an array, you need to give it a key attribute. So key will be actual URL and it will contain the audio tag. And here we will give it a source to that equal to the actual URL. And this will be having the controls as well. So control the audio. So that's all that you need to do, guys. This application is complete. Let me refresh the application. So if I now click record button, now it will record the audio of my voice from my microphone. So if anytime I click the stop button, you will now see it has recorded the audio and now it is displaying it inside the audio tag. If I
Now
play the
it will
audio,
record the audio of my voice from my microphone. So if I
so all these controls are there. You can decrease the volume, up the volume, and also you can download the audio, change the playback speed to any speed of your choice. So in this way, guys, you can make your audio recorder like this, a bulk audio recorder using WebAssembly in FFmpeg in React application. All the source code will be there inside video description. I have given all the source code. So if you want to download all the source code, you can go to the video description link to download all the source code. And I will be seeing you in the next video. Until then, thank you very much.